Welcome to the World Parkinson Congress. The WPC Global Choir will sing the winning song from the song competition by Rich Godey and Greg Anderson, submitted by Colleen Bridges. This is You Are Not Alone.
Not one minute, you Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 7th World Parkinson Congress here in sunny Phoenix. It is a great pleasure to welcome you all here this evening. I'm pleased to say we have two past presidents in the front row. Very welcome. So thank you all so much for coming to this unique event. I want to thank Judy Spencer, our music director tonight. There's going to be a lot of clapping tonight. And Judy's been leading the music here at the WPC since Portland in 2016. So thank you very much. It is now 20 years of the World Parkinson Coalition working to deliver World Parkinson Congresses, and through this, bringing the community together. It all began with the vision of one man, Stan Farn, and it was him that persuaded others that this could work. One of the first things that he did was he hired a young lady called Eli Pollard. And she's still young, like me. And during that interview, he actually said, I don't know if this idea will work, but I think the community is ready. And that was that. When we started 20 years ago, there was virtually no coordinated bringing together of the global Parkinson community anywhere. So scientists never met people with Parkinson's, and people with Parkinson's rarely got to meet and talk with leading clinical researchers and scientists. The WPC changed all this forever. And we owe an incredible gratitude to the founder of the WPC, Dr. Stan Farn. And I'm pleased to say, here he is, at the grand old age of 93, welcoming you to this WPC.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 20th anniversary of the World Parkinson Congress. I'm sorry I can't be with you today. I'm stuck in New York. I can't travel because I'm still paralyzed on my left side. I had a stroke in 2022, and I'm still paralyzed. But I think of you, and I think of this Congress a lot. It was 20 years ago, 2006. I was one of the founders of the WPC. So I worked with Robin Elliott of the Parkinson's Disease Foundation and their financial backing. And my first task was to hire a secretary executive. And Elizabeth Pollard was one of the candidates. When I interviewed her, I knew right away she was the one who I wanted. And we were lucky enough to hire her. And she's been with us ever since. And she is the glue that keeps the organization running year after year. We owe her a great deal of gratitude for all her effort. And she's really closely involved, especially with the people who have Parkinson's disease, and brings them all together for this meeting.
What an amazing man. And it made me realize that he was actually 73 when he started setting this up. So whatever your age, there's still plenty of things to do, wherever you are in life. So back in 2006, when this amazing journey began, research in Parkinson's was in a very different place. And now we find ourselves living in very exciting times. We have major investments in discovering what fundamentally goes wrong in Parkinson's disease through initiatives such as aligning science across Parkinson's and GP2. We have major pharma investment in all sorts of new therapies. And your voice is now informing research and trials like never before. So as we begin the 7th WPC, do continue to interact over these next few days. Everyone is equal here, and no one should feel shy about talking to anyone about anything to do with Parkinson's. I personally love talking, and so will be happy to chat to anyone, not even about Parkinson's, anything you like, but I will also talk and ask questions of others as I've so much to learn. I want the WPC spirit to continue to thrive, which is encapsulated in a sense of family. Together, we can do great things. So let's all continue to support each other in a truly international way, in a way that sets an example for a world that lives in very unsettling times. Here tonight, we have nearly 4,000 delegates from 62 countries, and 2/3 of those here tonight are attending their very first WPC. So I extend a very, very special welcome to you. There are also 16 people, and I see my name is up there, that have attended every single WPC, and we want to give them all a big shout out tonight. So where have we come in the last 3 years since Barcelona? Well, for a start, we're still here and going. As some of you will know, we were in a bit of financial trouble after the last WPC, but we managed to weather the storm, and thanks to your help and support, we are here and in a very healthy state. How did we do this? Well, we adopted many different approaches and are grateful to all individuals and organisations that helps us negotiate this period, as well as helping support this conference this year. In this respect, we especially want to thank Clyde Campbell from Shake It Up Australia for taking the first step in helping us launch this programme by offering up support as soon as he knew the WPC was in need. Thank you, Clyde. We want to thank the Parkinson's Foundation for their continued help, which began back in 2004 when they helped the WPC get set up as a non-profit, and then for housing the WPC from day one to the present time. To all the champion partners on the screen, thank you, as well as all the sponsors of the WPC 2026. We would literally not be here tonight if you hadn't stepped up to make this possible. We want to thank the WPC sponsors, and especially our premier sponsor, AbbVie, not only supporting this meeting, but also supporting the wonderful leadership forum that we had yesterday and our Parkinson Ready program. I also want to thank our 150 volunteers. They have been preparing this for the last 6 months. I want to thank our 4 volunteer coordinators. Thank you for all the work you've done. Our secretariat team, as well as the staff at JPDL based out of Montreal, thank you all so much for making this possible. We all know how important movement is to Parkinson's. And I want to particularly mention an amazing group of people who, for whatever reason, decided to cycle here. Takes all sorts. Pedal to Phoenix involved 3 cycling teams consisting of 41 cyclists and 10 support riders and staff who embarked on simultaneous rides across the United States starting in April and May and arriving here in Phoenix 2 days ago, last Friday. Team West Coast, you've got a clue where they started. They departed from Seattle and cycled for 38 days. Team Utah departed Salt Lake City and cycled for 21 days. Team Route 66 departed Chicago and rode along Route 66. I'm not sure for exactly how long, but it was certainly over 30 days. I want to especially mention Steve Squires. I don't know where Steve is, but Steve was the co-captain of Route 66 until his bike decided to have an argument with a truck. And sadly, the truck won. So Steve had to receive medical care for his broken ribs, which stopped him cycling. But as you can see, it did not stop Steve from coming here. And so we especially salute you. Such dedication. In addition, we'd like to thank Steve's team member, Dr. Joyce Chu. I don't know where Joyce is. Thank you, Joyce, because you were a pivotal team member in keeping all the cyclists safe during the journey, and I believe it was quite an eventful journey from a medical perspective. I should also add that I did consider cycling myself, but I worked out I'd have had to leave from the WPC 6th in Barcelona in 2023 in order to make it here on time, given the speed I cycle and the distance. There are just so many people that have done so much for the WPC over the years, and especially to bring you this very special 7th WPC. But as you've already heard, and I think that we all know, that none of this would have been possible without one person. And that person is Eli Pollard. Eli is the heart and driving force of the WPC, and I've had the pleasure of working with her for many years, but especially in my role as president since 2023. She has been an inspiration to me, and I know to many of you as well. And now for something that we've not rehearsed. Eli, in recognition of your work, and to your complete surprise, well, I hope it is a complete surprise, we have something for you. Margie Zimmerman, on behalf of the WPC ambassadors, contacted me some time ago about recognizing your unstinting and selfless work for the WPC. And she suggested, and this is some suggestion, that we name a star after you. And so it is our great pleasure tonight to give you this certificate, or a certificate, confirming that a star has been named in your honor because your work, like that star, knows no borders. So Eli, would you come up here with Margie to collect this award for all that you've done at the WPC over many, many years?
Certificate. The star with the coordinates, and they are legit spatial coordinates, was entered into the star naming registry. The star has been named Eli. Dear Eli, on behalf of the World Parkinson Congress, it is with profound gratitude and deep admiration that we present you with this very special honor. A star has been named in your honor, one visible across multiple continents, because your work, like that star, knows no borders. Your extraordinary dedication to those living with Parkinson's disease, their families and care partners around the world, has left an indelible mark on our global community. Through your outreach, countless individuals have found not only resources and support, but the knowledge that they are not alone in this journey. The World Parkinson Congress exists to unite our community across every boundary, geographic, cultural, and linguistic. You embody that mission every day. This star will shine long after us all, a permanent reminder of the light you have brought to so many lives. We hope that whenever you or those you love look to the night sky, you're reminded of the immeasurable difference that you have made. With deepest respect, admiration, and gratitude, the ambassadors from World Parkinson Congress 2026.
Thank you so much. You didn't know you were getting that, did
No,
you?
I did not. You're in trouble. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not saying anything.
No. Okay. Thank you, Margie. So it worked. We've been trying to keep that secret for quite some time, and even in the rehearsal this afternoon, I had to change all of the bits I was doing. So there have been a number of exciting events which we need to celebrate and remember. The Red Thread project that has run for the last 2 years, which has sought to highlight the connections in our community. We've had many hundreds of photos submitted to the project, as well as more than 100 poems and 56 dance videos. Indeed, we have several special videos that mention this project tonight from people that you might recognize. Indeed, every World Parkinson Congress contains surprises, and that was certainly one for Eli, and this year is no different. We will have over these next few days many wonderful opportunities to admire the ingenuity and resilience of others, as well as an amazing array of talents. This will include musical treats, as we've heard already tonight. Thank you, Colleen Bridges, for the opening song, You Are Not Alone. Films that will move you, made by amazingly talented filmmakers, inspirational testimonies and research talks, along with a host of messages from the great and good. And there is no better way to start this tonight than with a video from someone who was born 25 years before the discovery of dopamine in the human brain. She has delighted generations of people with her dramatic and comedic roles on stage and screen. She has won many, many awards and been generous in all that she has done. And this includes a special message for you all at the WPC this year. So here is a short video from the legendary Carol Burnett.
Hi, I'm Carol Burnett, and I'm thrilled to be part of the opening ceremony for the 7th World Parkinson Congress in Phoenix, Arizona. Having friends and colleagues who suffer from this neurological disorder, I know all too well how important this Congress is to advancing treatment and hopefully the cure. To the over 4,000 participants from over 40 countries here tonight, thank you for your discoveries, your compassion, your science, and your technology to eradicate this disease and its symptoms. Count me in as a Red Thread member. Thank you.
You're never too old to do a video. The combined age of our two video tonight is 186. So thank you, Carol. It's now my great pleasure to invite Becca Miller to the stage. Becca is a longtime friend and supporter of the WPC. She's a licensed clinical psychologist, associate professor at Yale, and director of peer support at a mental health center in New Haven, Connecticut. Becca started attending the WPC shortly after her diagnosis, launching her PD advocacy career many years ago, becoming a go-to trusted resource for many fellow advocates and Parkinson leaders. So will you join me in welcoming Becca to the stage?
It is such an honor to be asked to speak to you all. I am so overwhelmed and grateful to be here. Here's the scene. It is July 3rd, 2013 in Manhattan. I'm in the doctor's office. My 8-month-old daughter is in the waiting room with my parents. The doctor finishes his exam and looks me dead in the eye and says, "You have Parkinson's disease." I start tearing up. "It looks like you're getting upset," he says. Then he gives me the next 2 commands, which changed my life. Take charge of your disease. Don't let it take charge of you. And go to the World Parkinson's Congress. Turns out that doctor, Stanley Fahn, was one of the co-founders of the Congress. And the next World Parkinson Congress happened to be coming up just 3 months later in Montreal, Canada. This meant that I could start taking charge of my disease, the first command, by heeding the second command. I could not have been luckier with the timing. Well, I guess a little bit. I missed the early bird registration by 2 days. I packed up the car with a friend and my 11-month-old and took the trip from New Haven, Connecticut up to Montreal for the October conference, just 3 months into my diagnosis. I went to talks, workshops, and learned lots of new information about Parkinson's disease. But more importantly, I had the privilege to meet people and make connections. Like Tom Isaacs, the founder of Cure Parkinson's, who told me that living with dyskinesias was not so bad if you were doing things you loved. I met Alex Flynn, the ultramarathoner with Parkinson's, who kept trying to do the hardest things even with Parkinson's. I met Sonia Mather, who, with her 3 amazing daughters, inspired me about being a mom with Parkinson's. I met other people with Parkinson's living their lives in spite of, despite, or just with Parkinson's. I saw their amazing feats, but also the quiet strength and perseverance of people making their way through. I saw people with Parkinson's in all stages of the disease, and it helped me be less fearful for my own future. I saw the committed researchers, doctors, allied healthcare professionals, all working so hard to partner with family members and people with Parkinson's, to find new treatments, to find a cure, and until then, to make living with this disease easier for all of us. All of this left me feeling hopeful, although it wasn't easy. There was a lot to digest, soak in, and come to terms with. I remember in one of the very first plenary sessions, a doctor started talking about hospice care. Hospice care? I couldn't fathom it. I was 39 years old with an 11-month-old daughter. I turned to my friend and said, "Let's get out of here." She nodded, and we made a beeline for the door, going out for coffee and pastries instead. To people with Parkinson's and their friends and care partners, remember, this is your learning journey, and you can go as slowly as you need. I officially give you permission to take coffee breaks, PRN, or as needed. And in fact, those coffee breaks can be perfect times for making these connections that are more than just worthwhile networking opportunities. They are good for your health. In 2023, the Surgeon General of the US named what he termed the loneliness epidemic. Loneliness is dangerous to your health and can be worse than smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And we know that having Parkinson's can be a lonely endeavor making us self-conscious about getting out there. But I'm here to tell you, you can do it. Take charge of this disease. And this time, the disease is loneliness. And guess what? Everyone has that disease to some extent. So during these 3 amazing days we have together, I encourage you to push yourself outside your comfort zone. Go up to that person at the booth in the exhibitors hall. Ask a question at a poster presentation. Researchers connect with family members, ask them how they do it every day. People with Parkinson's connect with allied health professionals, find out what inspires them. Doctors meet patients as people and sit down for coffee with them. And let's start now. Go ahead, turn to someone you don't know, in front of you, next to you, or behind you, and introduce yourself. You can do it. All right. Come back. Now you have at least, this is a talkative bunch. I love it. All right. We got 3 days, people. All right, so after the conference in Montreal, I called the WPC office to see if I could get a Parky the raccoon for my daughter. I happened to get the amazing, incredible Eli Pollard on the phone, and she, in her way, chatted with me and left me feeling like my voice mattered. That was the beginning of my journey as an advocate and the discovery of the amazing Parkinson's community. My journey hasn't always been a straight line. I go back and forth, focusing on my career, advocacy, trying to fit in all the things that adulting requires as a solo parent. The inspiration, though, that I got from that very first conference allowed me to envision a life with Parkinson's disease that could encompass all these things, like getting promoted to associate professor, publishing in the field of psychiatry, going to my daughter's school music performances, cooking Christmas dinner for my family, spending time with dear friends, and of course, coming back to the World Parkinson's Congress. Full circle to the WPC in Barcelona 2023. My incredible daughter, Cece, went from being 11 months old in Montreal to being the youngest person to volunteer at the Congress. Here she is after the closing ceremonies, and she is also volunteering today. She may have shown you to your seat. I am one proud mama. So whether this is your 7th WPC or very first, whether you're a person with Parkinson's, a bench scientist, a physical therapist, or a family member, there is so much to give and gain while you're here. Strike up a conversation with the person sitting next to you and say hello and ask, not right now though. You guys are really good at that earlier. Try something new and stay hydrated. Soak up the hope, the ideas, the camaraderie, and yes, the love. Thank you to Dr. Stan Fawn, to Eli Pollard, and to each of you who has made the commitment to be here together over these days of the WPC. You all have become like a second family to me. And I leave you with this. Take charge of your disease, and well, you anticipated the second command. You're here of the WPC, so welcome. Have an amazing Congress.
Thank you, Becca. And now, it is my great pleasure to award the grand prize winner of the short film competition. I thought Eli might have given me some envelope, which I could then open to announce what the winner, but the winner of the short film competition goes to David Sangster and his film, What PD Taught Me. So if David could come up to collect... Oh, we're going to see this.
Okay. 28th of April, and I'm at Central Park on the Unity Walk. We're going to become one of your famous videos. It's fun. I've not done this with the vlogging stuff. It doesn't matter how old you are, where you live, where you're from. It affects us all.
A man I once knew told me that PD is kind of like a gift, because it is something that will keep on giving for as long as you are living. That's what PD has taught me. It has taught me not to waste too much time in the past, looking back, but instead to hold dear, to value more the things that are very much still here, looking forwards to see what tomorrow might bring. And that's what PD has taught me. It's taught me that there's no such thing as wealth, that the only real thing of any value in this life is one's good health. It's taught me to see things more clearly, not to keep hanging on to what is all but gone. That's what PD has taught me. It's taught me the meaning of frustration, to get over myself, to crack on, and not to spend so much time wallowing in my own self-pity. Just because of my irreversible physical condition doesn't mean I should give up on life, myself, or my original mission.
Speak to people who've got Parkinson's. Ask them what it's like. Don't get me wrong, it will be tough. You'll have your good days and you'll have your bad days. But overall, you won't be alone, and there's loads of people who will be willing to help you.
It's taught me how to bide my time, to not always be so impatient, to rest when I'm down, but to fight when I rise, to face up to my reality, look it straight in the eye. That's what PD has taught me. You see, the moment you're diagnosed, when your life you had then lies in tatters, unravelled on the ground, you begin a new journey. The one you hadn't planned for or could ever have imagined, on a road less travelled, but still, onwards and upwards. Some days it will steal away your thunder. It will knock you off your feet. Why us? Why me? This curse, this god-awful disease. And then, of course, you'll click and compare, see your struggles in others. But please, I dare you to look beyond the shapes. Hold your curious gaze for just a while longer, and see how they cope in their own way, and try to embrace it. Make do. This life. It's taught me that one day in the future, maybe months, probably years, that you'll learn to accept it for what it really is. Not the glass half empty, not the glass half full. It just is what it is. That's what PD has taught me.
Oh, David. Yeah, you're going to say something. You want some water, sorry. All right with that? I hope it's water, could be gin. Okay. So David, here is the prize. I'm terrified to get it out of this box, so I'm just going to leave it there. I think you've got a few words. Do you want to say a few words?
That wasn't water, I think vodka. I've prepared some words, but really, I don't think I get to end of them, because I never really do get to end of any sentences. Any sentences, there you go, see, these days, but my speech is getting worse. But with that, my sense of determination to just keep raising awareness has always been there, since the early days when I started advocating when I met Tom Isaac in 2016, all the way through to now in 2026. It just keeps going. So, these things. I advocate and raise awareness because if you change the perceptions of one person, that's one person, isn't it? It's better than none. And collectively, over time, you can make people aware. There's no handbook to a life with Parkinson's. Only you can prescribe it if you're a patient. Parkinson's has taught me, as I said in the video, taught me a lot of things, but Some like relationships, people, family and friends, another thing that really matters in life. My friends over there, from all the way to see me from San Diego. Amazing. I'll say one more thing and I'll go. Thanks for the award, it's a real honour. I never thought I'd be up here with Anders Leames and other people, and the McDowell, other people. It's amazing to be on that list, so I think I've really achieved something today. I'm really proud of that, I really am. So let's march on into the desert, in the land of the never-ending sun, where friendships were forged. This place we'll never forget already. It's been momentous already. I'm forever in your debt as friends, advocates and other people. I'll see you again, somewhere someday. Let's rise. Thank you.
You stick. So thank you, David. And it was lovely to see the late Tom Isaacs, I noticed in that video. It was lovely to see good old Tom. Now it's my immense pleasure to invite someone to address us with eloquence and passion about living with someone who's truly amazing and who also has Parkinson's. The motivating, indomitable, and inspiration Omotola Thomas. Like mother, like daughter, so please join me in welcoming to the stage Omotola's daughter, Mimi Thomas.
Good evening, everyone. It truly is an honor to be here today. I'd like to take a moment to thank the WPC for giving me this incredible opportunity. And no, I'm not just saying that because I get to miss 2 days of school. I'm grateful to be here because I know firsthand how important it is to spread awareness of our experiences, particularly as children of people affected by Parkinson's disease. I don't think that it's necessary for me to go into detail about what the disease is, as I'm sure you all have an understanding of it. A quick Google search will tell you that Parkinson's disease is a neurodegenerative disorder caused by the loss of dopamine-producing cells within the brain. Further research will inform you of the general symptoms of the disease: stiffness, tremors, rigidity, slowness of movement, and much more. The internet is full of information about how Parkinson's affects a person living with it. But I find that the internet fails to shed enough light on how the disease truly affects children of people with Parkinson's, particularly those of us born into it. I cannot speak on the experience of others, friends, parents, spouses of people with Parkinson's. But what I can do is tell you my experience. Today, by sharing a little bit about my journey, I do hope to shed more light on this very important topic and hopefully spark further, more meaningful conversations about it. My mother, Omotola Thomas, began experiencing symptoms of Parkinson's around the time when I was born. But it would take many more years until she was formally diagnosed in 2016. I was around 7 years old at the time, and to be honest with you, I had absolutely no idea what that meant. Parkinson's disease is a relatively foreign concept to the average 7-year-old. But my understanding of the disease grew as I got older, and as my mother's symptoms became more noticeable to myself and my brother in various ways. Growing up, it felt like there were many experiences I had with my mom, which in a sense, I took for granted. I didn't really understand the true value of them at the time. It was only when these moments started to change, when I realized what they actually meant to me. It started with something as simple as my hair. During the early stages of my life, my mom would spend hours helping me wash, comb, detangle, and braid my hair. At the time, this felt normal, part of my routine. But as her tremors became more intense, her ability to do this diminished. I think I was around 10 years old when my mom was no longer able to help me with my hair. I don't think I fully processed this loss at the time, but in hindsight, this change marked a shift in the dynamics of our relationship. A shift which was often painful and difficult for the both of us to navigate. By the time I was 12, it became a lot more difficult for my mom to consistently cook meals for me. This forced me to learn to cook my own dinner every night after school. Now, I say this in no way to act as though my mother doesn't work hard for me. Despite the challenges she faces, she's the most hardworking person I know. But I do, however, think it's important to note that this disease has forced me to take on certain responsibilities a lot quicker than many of my friends. And has put me in a position where I've had to grow up very differently to them. I've had to learn that there are and will be certain times in my life where I'll have to take on the role of a caregiver in order to help my mom with some of the struggles and challenges she faces. Some of the responsibilities I've had to carry and the realities I've had to live with are very different from many of my friends. That alone can be a heavy burden for a teenager to deal with. There were also everyday things like driving me to see my friends or attending school events. Around 3 years ago, it became very difficult for my mom to drive me every day. I remember feeling uncomfortable or awkward in conversations where my friends would ask me simple questions. What time's your mom picking you up from school? Why isn't she coming to this event? What's she cooking you for dinner? Why can't she do this or that? I was never ashamed of my mom or her condition, but rather too shy to speak out about how it was affecting me. I felt that there isn't nearly enough awareness, especially within people in my age, about what the disease is. This often leads to me feeling isolated in a sense, as I feel as though I can't talk to my friends about it. Over time, I've realized that Parkinson's doesn't just affect the person's life. It reshapes the families. It alters our routines, responsibilities, and daily navigation. But what it also does is it forces children like me to grow up holding two realities at once. Loving someone fully while also witnessing the challenges the disease slowly brings. It's extremely hard for anyone to watch someone they love battle Parkinson's disease. It's especially difficult if that person's your mother. It becomes even harder when you feel as though you can't talk to anyone about it. That's why I believe it's absolutely crucial for awareness to be spread about this disease. Not just about how it affects that person, but how it affects people within their circle, their children in particular. I believe that being able to share your journey as a friend, spouse, or child of someone with Parkinson's will ultimately make navigating and conquering this disease much less challenging. Thank you so much, everyone.
Well done. Incredible. I feel so anxious and I'm so old, I can't imagine how Mimi does it so well. So thank you, Mimi. And now we move to the People's Choice Film Award winner. And this film is by Nathan Willis, called The Red Threads.
Sometimes the future you imagine for yourself disappears. It's ripped up and thrown out, discarded, destroyed. That's how I felt when I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease at just 36 years old. Before this disease, I trusted my body. I trusted my mind. Now they're both slowly betraying me. This disease can feel so lonely. I hung my head, unable to see anything other than my shaky hand and a dragging foot. a grief for a life that felt like it had barely begun, a future that felt stolen. I thought everything was over, my life thrown away. But then something happened. I finally began to look up from my broken body and I saw something. My family was still there. My friends were still there. They were walking beside me, holding me up. They didn't care about my disease. I found new faces too, some who share this disease and others who simply chose to walk with me. Together we began to gather the torn pieces and build something new. There's an old belief in East Asia about a red thread, an invisible cord that connects us to the people we're meant to find. I think about that a lot these days. How Parkinson's, the very thing that broke me, also bound me to this beautiful and eclectic family. Our relationships are now deeper and more committed. We hold one another up. I'm not alone. I'm surrounded by love. We remind each other that life can still be full of light. What I once thought was an ending was really a beginning. A chance to take the torn fabric of my broken body and weave it into something more meaningful. As my body fades, this thread will hold. And because of this, I see now that life is more beautiful, not in spite of the pain, but because of it.
Sadly, Nathan can't be here tonight because he's working. But fortunately, we have a video of him accepting this award.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for this award. I'm so sorry I can't be with you there tonight. I'm currently in New Orleans where I'm working, but I plan to be there as early as I can tomorrow. I booked the earliest flight out I could, so I might be a little sleepy, but I will be happy because I will be among friends, and I can't wait to meet you and see old friends and make new friends. This award means more to me than I think I can possibly express in a short video, but very briefly, I'll just say that I think Parkinson's has taken so much from me, and it will continue taking from me, but it has also given me so much, and it's given me a new perspective. It's given me a new purpose, and it's given my work a whole new meaning. And this award is just the encouragement that I need to keep going. And I thank all of you who watched my film and voted for my film. And thank you to all the other filmmakers who created such beautiful pieces of work. Thank you to the World Parkinson's Congress, who creates a space for creativity and artistic expression, because we live in a really senseless world, and throw in Parkinson's and it makes it even more senseless and confusing. And the way that I make sense of this, and I think the way so many of us make sense of this, is through creativity and storytelling and expression. And so to have this platform and this opportunity just means so much. And I can't wait to see you all tomorrow. I'm a Southern boy and I love hugs, so don't be afraid to come hug me. I'll hug you right back. And thank you so much again.
Don't forget to hug Nathan. He's invited you to do it. So now it's my great pleasure to introduce a dear old friend from the birthplace of wisdom, Leonidas Stephanis, who I've known for well over 15 years and who has masterminded the program for this meeting through chairing the Scientific Program Committee, a job that I know involves a huge amount of work, having done it myself for the 5th WPC in Kyoto. So please do welcome Leo.
Thank you, Roger. It's amazing to see this full house and finally arriving at the end of this 3-year journey. It's been a difficult road, but I think we've achieved a lot, as you'll see in the program for this meeting. We've been able to get together 173 speakers from 24 countries. We've done a few changes in the program compared to previous years. This came about because although I think this is my 5th meeting, I always felt the meetings were great, but there's always room for improvement. So we sat together with Eli, with the board, and with the co-chairs, and we designed a few things differently compared to previous meetings. A major change has been that there was some complaints that there were a lot of parallel things going on, and we needed to focus a little bit. So we got rid of the parallel workshops, and now we just have parallel sessions together with the roundtables in the afternoons to enable more focused participation. One other thing we did was to move the poster sessions from later in the afternoon, in the evening, early evening, to lunchtime. So you just have to grab your lunch and please attend the poster sessions. They're very important and people have worked a lot on them. I'm one of them. So I have a poster. So please come to my poster tomorrow. Okay. So one other change we did was that we have, as you may remember from previous meetings, we had wrap-up sessions, and those were very well evaluated but not well attended. And perhaps they were too diffuse, that's what we thought. So we thought we would have them follow the tracks, the 3 tracks of the meeting. So we have wrap-up discussion sessions, really, around the 2 sessions that kind of go together in the afternoon, the 2 parallel sessions. And really, those I think are going to be great. It's all about discussion, about interaction, and I think, you should try to attend those later in the day. And even later in the day, we have the controversy sessions. We have 2 controversy sessions, a new thing also for this meeting. The first one tomorrow, again, I'm participating, and my worthy opponent is none other than Roger Barker. So please come. It's maybe bloody, we're going to cross swords, but entertaining, hopefully. So I think spirits will be served also in those controversy sessions, so added value. So the remaining features are pretty much like we've had in previous meetings, the plenary sessions, the hot topics. They're early in the morning, but please try to attend. Those are the highlights from all the abstracts that were submitted. Usually they're young investigator. The presenters are young investigators. And we also have the special lunchtime sessions. So all this has come about with this great program committee, the co-chairs in basic science, Mark Cookson, Michael Villa, and all the other members, the clinical science subcommittee, the co-chairs, Carolyn Williams-Gray and Tanya Simuni, the comprehensive care committee, Victor McConvey, and Terry Ellis. I just wanted to thank all of them and all the members of the committees who worked very, very hard. And please, a round of applause for the committee who has put this program together. So just a pointer for those who have not attended this meeting before, because the background level of the participants is quite varied. There's this easy to follow kind of guideline, just this thermometer. If you're just basic level, you don't know much about what's going on, it's the crosstalk, right? You don't need to have any background to follow a session. There's moderate level sessions with moderate background. You know a little bit about the topic, but not much. And then high level, where you really need to be well versed in the topic to attend. And of course, there are the 3 session types I mentioned earlier, the basic, the clinical science, and the comprehensive care. And a new feature in this meeting also is the AI-generated interpretation in 80 languages provided by Wordly. So this meeting is special because the whole of the Parkinson's community is participating. So essential feature of the program, beyond the scientific program, is the wellness program. A new addition to this is the lunch and learn sessions, where you can have actually your lunch while you're actually participating in sessions where speech therapists, nutritionists are discussing swallowing, dysphagia, and nutrition. The wellness and massage room is back. Apparently it wasn't present in the previous meeting, and this is thanks to the great local partners volunteering to manage this space. A new feature is also the pickleball room, which has been added. I'm not sure what that is, and Eli didn't want to tell me, but I'm sure it's very entertaining and sweaty, and it's going to compete with the ping pong room and other very worthy endeavors in which you can participate. And there's going to be 104 experts from 13 different countries involved in that. There's the creativity program. A new feature of this is the Quiver Art Auction, live bidding. It's a silent art auction. There are 52 pieces. Actually went over there this morning and actually found there's one Greek patient who came up to me just a couple of days ago and told me she has an art exhibit there, and it's there, and she actually sends her thanks to the organizer. Christopher, Alexandra sends her greetings and her thanks for her participation. And another exhibit I went by is This is Parkinson's. 10 years later, it's very interesting. 10 years ago, there's a photographic exhibition of people with young onset Parkinson's disease. And now we see them in photographs 10 years later, and we hear their story. So it's, I think, quite an amazing thing you should all go by. There's many more features in the creativity program. The Red Thread project you heard about, performance spot, the performance lounge, the song competition, the choir we just heard, the dance performance we're going to be witnessing for the opening ceremony. Unfortunately, not many delegates from Greece have been able to participate in this meeting due to the distance and financial factors. But it's an active and growing community, and they are also involved in creativity activities. And I just have a short video of a performance that just took place a few days ago. So who has seen The Guns of Navarone? So this song is featured in that film, one of the best war films of all time, I think. Anyway, so this was the choir of the Parkinson Society, Evolving Parkinson Society in Greece. Elena Tripoliti, a great speech therapist who has returned now to Greece, is the kind of the inspiration behind these activities. So this is all for now, but I do have a special message to introduce. A special person who has been an advocate for disadvantaged people everywhere. Since her first appearance on film, which led actually to an Academy Award. So please welcome Marlon Matlin.
Hello, all you 4,000 attendees to the kickoff tonight at the 7th World Parkinson Congress in Phoenix, Arizona. Your drive, your science, your discoveries, your research and experiments warm my heart. You're making a significant difference in the lives of over 10 million people worldwide and growing exponentially each year. It is another curveball that life has thrown us, but the World Parkinson Conference is determined to expedite treatments and find a cure. Have a wonderful Congress. Remember, aim high and be relentless. And by the way, count me in as a red thread. Thank you.
And now for the somber moment we have in every one of these conferences, just remembering our colleagues and friends who have left us, have passed in these last 3 years since the last conference. And this is in memory of their presence in memoriam.
On July 18, 2011, at age 65, I stood on top of Mount Kilimanjaro, perhaps the oldest woman with Parkinson's to do so.
I had loved my work with healthcare teams here in the United States and around the world, working to improve care for people with Parkinson's disease.
Please welcome to the stage the WPC dance program, choreographed by professional dancer and Parkinson's advocate Pamela Quinn, joined by more than 30 dancers from around the world. They will perform Knots and Threads.
What an amazing dance, all choreographed by Pamela Quinn. And I know the question you're asking is, how did they rehearse that? And actually, it was done entirely virtually until yesterday, when they met for the very first time to dance that together. So before I introduce our last speaker, at some point today I was reminded of a wonderful quote from Margaret Mead, the famous American anthropologist, which I thought I would share with you because I thought it encapsulates everything that we can do here at the WPC. She wrote, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." So before we go and get to know each other better, start chatting, talk to people you don't know, it's time to introduce another amazing person, another person who's a part of that community, who's done so much for people with Parkinson's, both in terms of her scientific discoveries and her heart for people with Parkinson's and the WPC. Someone, again, I've known for many years, which is telling me something about my age, I think. This person, like Eli, is a human dynamo. So, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome the WPC Vice President, Malu Tanzi. Go get him, kid.
Good evening, everybody. It's been an amazing, amazing evening. And I want to thank you again for joining us for this wonderful Congress. And I want to once again thank everybody who sponsored us. Our community has supported each other for quite some time. And we have, in many ways, to thank so many of our sponsors for the ability to be here. We want to give a special thanks to the travel grant supporters for the WPC made possible by our community. We have had 364 of you give $20,000 to support others to attend this Congress. 12 young onset PD advocates raised funds to help support 20 people with young onset. Shake It Up Australia, France Parkinson's, Cure Parkinson's, Twitchy Woman, our local hosts, ASU Banner Neurodegenerative Disease Research Center, Aligning Science Across Parkinson's, the Ed Safra Foundation, Monterey Power Parkinson's, and of course the NIH and INDS. So thank you to all of you for the support for the community. We also want to thank the World Parkinson's Coalition board for their support and the work they did ahead of time. The Muhammad Ali Parkinson's Center and sponsored by AbbVie, 400 individuals were trained to be Parkinson's ready for your arrival. You may come in contact with some of these people wearing a lapel that says Parkinson's Ready Program. Please give them your thanks and appreciation for the work they do. These people include not just the front lines of transportation, hospitality, including the Hotel and Convention Center staff, as well as local emergency and security officials, as well as airport staff. This training, offered at no cost to participants, were basically sponsored and enabled by AbbVie, the global biopharmaceutical company. They will offer local staff the opportunity to learn about Parkinson's, so when they interact with people who might be wandering around, maybe looking a little lost, they know that they belong and that they're not alone. And so thank you to all of the participants of the Parkinson's Ready program. It's a very positive thing for everyone. And next, I want to thank the people shown on this slide that trained the Parkinson's Ready program, local participants, Dr. Jamie Nesbitt and Mark Millo. Their expertise, their humor, and their wonderful training made a huge difference, so thank you. And so now we have another few special messages, a few cameos for you to enjoy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Carell, and I just wanted to say hi and welcome all the attendees of the 7th World Parkinson's Congress, kicking off a 4-day exchange of science, discoveries, medical specialists, and pharmaceuticals to expedite treatments and hopefully find a cure. I have a vested interest in your work and pursuit. I have friends and colleagues who suffer from this neurological disorder, and together, I think we can make a difference. Count me in as a red thread. Thank you for your participation.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Julie Andrews, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the 7th World Parkinson's Congress. Your participation is invaluable as we seek to find a cure to this terrible disease. I know well how devastating it can be. May we all become a beacon of light to stop it in its tracks. Count me in as a red thread. Thank you.
So what happens now is that we have the local mariachi who will play for us, and as they leave the hall, please follow them into the exhibit hall for the welcome reception. While in the exhibit hall, please be sure to thank our sponsors, Amil Pharmaceuticals and Blue Rock Therapeutics, for helping make the reception possible.